What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. Much like 80s fashion and disco, the RAZR is back. If you don't remember what the RAZR was, it was the flip phone that really changed the flip phone industry. Developed in 2003 and released in 2004, this guy was razor thin, and it defined Motorola. And to find Motorola so much, they spent the next few years releasing rehashed versions of the RAZR. But the name is back. This time it's a smartphone, and we've got the Droid RAZR by Motorola. Let's talk about it. So today, October 18th, Motorola took the wraps off the Droid RAZR in New York City, and this guy packs a lot of punch. It's really aimed squarely at the Droid Bionic in Verizon's lineup. Right now it is a Verizon exclusive. So let me run through all the beautiful specs that this guy has. First, 4.3-inch QHD Super AMOLED screen. So pretty beautiful screen. 1.2 gigahertz. I always feel like I'm making a Back to the Future quote when I say that. 1.2 gigawatt. Okay, whatever. 1.2 gigahertz dual core processor. 1 gig of RAM. Verizon's incredibly fast 4G LTE, and that's true 4G. 8 megapixel rear facing camera. It can shoot 1080p video. It's becoming pretty standard. It also has image stabilization technology for crisp and clear videos, or so says Motorola's PR. It's got an HD forward facing camera for video chat over LTE, 3G or Wi-Fi. Kind of cool you can video chat over 3G. It'll probably be super choppy. It'll look like you're looking at a strobe light. Like, what do, 32 gigs of memory, 16 gig on board, and a 16 gig micro SD card. Of course, you can up that as well. That'll be pre-installed, though the actual formatted capacity is probably going to be for a bit less. Gorilla Glass screen, Kevlar build materials. I wouldn't make a flak jacket out of this thing, but it will be pretty durable. 12.5 hours of talk time and 8.9 hours of video playback, which is pretty impressive. This phone is incredibly thin. It's a RAZR, so you'd expect it to be so, with 7.1 millimeters thin. It's got a Motorola SpashGuard to protect it from lifestyle accidents. And funnily enough, the battery is sealed inside of this thin guy, which also rocks that sort of Droid hump that we've seen on a lot of the Droid phones. So this phone is absolutely spec'd to the gills, but the timing is a bit curious. So I mentioned that today is the 18th. Later on tonight, Google's taking the wraps off of Ice Cream Sandwich, their latest build of Android. This guy is running Gingerbread. Seems a bit odd. This would be a top tier phone. This would be a phone that would presumably go head to head against the soon to be announced Galaxy Nexus, but with an outdated operating system. So that is a bit odd. I think is going to hinder some people's purchases. I know if I was looking to get a new smartphone and I was jazzed up and I wanted the most powerful one out there, and then I knew that it was running an outdated OS. You never know when a new OS is going to come. Carriers and manufacturers usually just say soon. It's kind of disappointing. Pre-orders for this guy are going to be starting October 27th. If you're interested, it'll be available early November for $299.99, so just under $300. If you don't mind, then it's going to be rocking Gingerbread, presumably Ice Cream Sandwich at some point. This is a pretty badass phone. It brings a lot to the table in a really thin form factor. You guys know I'm a big fan of Verizon's 4G LTE network. The speeds are blazing fast if you happen to be in an area where 4G is, and it's ever expanding. This is an awesome phone. So is lack of Ice Cream Sandwich at launch going to be a big detriment for you? Do you care, not care? I'm really excited to get my hands on this phone just from a design standpoint. I think it's really cool what Motorola is doing. And that's really one of the beauties of Android. You can have a ton of different form factors. If you want a slab form factor, you've got that. If you want a QWERTY keyboard, you've got that. If you want a portrait slide-out keyboard, you've got that. A landscape keyboard, you've got that. You understand what I'm saying here. Lots of options in the Android world. I am curious to see the camera though. 1080p really doesn't mean much if the bitrate's bad, so really want to see what it's going to look like when we can finally blow it up on a giant screen. But now I'm just rambling. I want to see what the Droid RAZR is going to look like. We will have it right here in our offices to unbox and show you. Does Ice Cream Sandwich matter to you? Does it just make you hungry? You not even know why we're talking about desserts? I want to hear from you too. I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.